Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. It's our favorite time of the week. We are chatting all things Super Rugby. And I feel like, Aiden, I haven't seen you in about a million years.
Yeah, no.
Like bro's been scarce. What have you been up to?
Just working, mate. Working. I've been sleeping. A lot of sleep. I've been trying to catch up on a bit.
Bro said he's been busy, but he's just been sleeping.
No, I have been working. And I have been watching the Super Rugby games. You get up early, man. I'm up at 3 a.m. It's tough. It's a tough life.
Bro, you don't go to sleep. You don't go to sleep.
I do.
You are out partying. You're a filthy animal. Don't even start because you send those midnight texts. Bro, don't start. Listen, I had a totally shit weekend, and it's all because of one player. And it's Dylan Peach. I was so excited for him to score about 1 billion points against the Draw. I wasn't even talking shit about the Draw. I just said, listen, they're going to get smacked, and Dylan Peach is going to have a blinder. I had him on my wing. I woke up, had my coffee, and I saw this little bugger isn't playing, and I didn't take him out of my team. And I feel like I absolutely stank out this weekend when it comes to fantasy.
Yeah, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy that they have a fantasy. It's nice to actually have something to engage with weekly. Obviously, we engage online and we talk to fans and try and get engaged with that way. But for regular people that just want to do it, it's a great way to bring eyes to the game. But could the fantasy system be better? Yes. Could it be an app?
At least let me have a sub on the bench where they just automatically come on.
Or like send you a notification or something that says, look, this player isn't playing and is in your starting team. There's a few things they could tweak. I mean,
they have to fucking call me if a player doesn't. I don't even care if it's 2 a.m. Inform me if there's. I'm taking this too seriously for them not to give me a ring. It's human decency. It's just courtesy.
Yeah, I mean,
I take this thing serious. And Dylan Peach, who's a winger, right? The wings score so many points. And I played with 2 backs.
Yeah, I mean, I had Superbru that was late change, and I didn't change him in the team, which was not ideal. But anyways, it's nitpicking. It's unfortunate. I mean, we take fantasy more serious than others, so maybe that's why. But we should get into the games because we had a few bangers.
Yes, we did. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. And you know what is also the gift that keeps on giving? Casual Bias Rugby, the Super Rugby wrap-up. So people, please do remember, we are not analysts. We just chat shit when it comes to the games, okay? So please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button if this is for you. Go to Aiden's TikTok. Go follow him over there. It's the Kiwi living in England, right? Strange. Anyway, let's go. We started off Moana Pacifica versus the Chiefs. And after the first half, Aiden, we spoke. And we were like, are the Chiefs putting 100 on them? That's literally how it felt. Bro, it was like McKenzie had a good game, but Leroy Carter I felt like that guy just absolutely ran the show. And what was it like? 42-14 after the first half.
Which is 43-7, I think, after half time. Yeah, it was over a point a minute. It was just bizarre. It was like, we both sort of thought that Moana would, front up and produce a really tight game. And after the first 40 minutes, I was sitting there thinking, wow, they've gone backwards since their bye week. And we saw a massive first half from the Chiefs. And then the second half was like, it's like a different team came out. Like Moana went into the sheds and a whole new team came out after half time. And they put up like 28 points in the second half against the number 1 team in the comp. Yeah. And other than a consolation try for Tokiaho at the end of the game for the Chiefs, it's 35-42. It's a one score game.
Right. I think I think Moana got an absolute fucking spanking while they were in the dressing room after that first half performance. Yeah. That they needed to wake up in the second half. But I don't know. What do you think about it maybe just being one of those cases where Chiefs knew it's done and dusted. They went to lay down a bit. Like, they were never really in threat of losing the game. Like, Moana were great in that second half. But Moana could have scored 1 million tries and they still wouldn't have won that game in the second half. Like, the Chiefs just kind of chilled out for the rest of it. Do you think that might be the case, or you have to just give Moana the credit?
Yeah, there's always probably going to be a sense that some of those Chiefs players knew they're going to win the game and maybe stepped off the gas a bit. I think the Chiefs coaches will look at that and try and stamp that out. So either way you look at it, if you're looking at it from a Moana perspective, they need to sort out their first 40. And if you're looking at it from a Chiefs perspective, they need to sort out that last 40 and not have a mindset change to change the way you perform. Should be consistent throughout the 80.
Did the Chiefs get their bonus point?
No.
No, they'll be hating themselves regarding that.
Yeah.
That had to be a bonus point. Like, there's no excuses for that.
Yeah, and so it gives the Crusaders, since the Chiefs have a bye, if the Crusaders win, they'll go top of the table.
Ouch. Very ouch. Like, when it comes to Super Rugby, I spoke to Jake about it. And we spoke about, like, I don't like the fact that the Super Rugby has different rules set to Northern Hemisphere Rugby, where it's like 4 tries gets you the bonus point. But then I'm thinking, like, there's never only 4 tries scored, right? So you have to make it a bit more tough to get that bonus point. But every now and again, I completely forget about having to score 3 tries more than the other team. Yeah. And the Chiefs really blundered it. Like, when it's so tough to get your bonus points, when the opportunity's there, you have to take it.
Yeah, I think I like the rule. I mean, it's a little different for sure compared to some of the Northern Hemisphere ones, but I think it rewards the better teams more than a 4-try bonus point does.
Yeah. Like, either way, I'm not knocking Super Rugby or URC or whatever. Like, I just think it will be better if everyone just follows kind of the same rule set.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think it's just, obviously, the rugby is played a little differently in the hemispheres, just with, the style of rugby. I think there's a lot of tries scored in Super Rugby, so it needs to be a little different. But yeah, it would be nice if everything was under the same banner.
Yeah. But overall, Chiefs, job done. Arguably should have got their 5 points, but I mean, you have to move on. You live and you learn, and you go on. Great performance still, like we both said. Moana will front up and put it straight. They didn't, right? Basically. Highlanders versus the Reds, and I'll take this all day long. Thank you very much. We called it on this one. Like, we still had a stinky weekend when it came to predictions, like the game we'll speak about next. But 29 points to 23, I told you the Reds are my dark horses. They're sitting comfortably in third. If they win this weekend, right, because the Chiefs also, they're on the same amount of points as the Crusaders, they also go above the Chiefs. How do you like that about a little dark horse prediction?
Yeah, I mean, they've played another game, I believe. I don't think they've had a bye yet. So they're
on 5 games. The Chiefs are on 6. They're on 5 games, so they're playing this week, and the Chiefs have got their bye. Remember the Reds that they bye the first weekend.
They did too. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that. Let's have a look. Pull up the table here.
Yeah, I've got it here in front of me.
Yeah, they are. They have a few points behind on bonus points. Not bonus points, on points difference. But yeah, they will
get in.
Who are they? Oh, it's going to be interesting. They'll lose to the Force.
Oh, that's just coping because you don't want to give me my credit, son.
No, it's a good prediction. I predicted the Highlanders to win that game. And
how many games are there in the season?
16 rounds. Yeah, 16 rounds.
Okay, so it's a bit early to say that. Sorry, I got carried away.
I think watching the first half, I thought the Highlanders were in control. They built long phases of pressure, which is good, and then they were able to convert that into points. Not always tries, but they took a few penalties. And then I think just in that last 20 minutes, the Reds, they seemed more like they were going to break the line than the Highlanders did, which is surprising to me with the way the Highlanders have been playing. And then they got themselves in the right area of the park, and then they converted 2 pretty simple tries that just came off the back of building pressure and getting through the tackles a bit better. And post-contact meters is probably the stat that they were much better in. And so, yeah, I mean, the Highlanders got a consolation penalty at the end that gave them a bonus point loss, which is better than nothing. Yeah. But Reds too good.
Yeah. And I mean, the Reds, they'll take that all day long, right? Like going to the Highlanders and beating them at their home ground, it's never an easy task. They've done it. We know how difficult it is for the Aussie teams to actually go and travel to New Zealand and get those victories. So, I mean, whether you want to see it as a hit and run or just a solid performance, because, I mean, there was no way in the end that the Islanders could win the game because the Reds' defense held up. They saw the timeout and then consolation penalty, as you said in the end. So Reds deserved victors. They'll take that, giving them an opportunity to top the table at the moment, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think it is important to note this is only the second away game the Reds have played. They've obviously played the Crusaders away and got thumped. And now they're playing the Highlanders. They beat the Highlanders away, which is huge because getting a wins away for Aussie teams, as you just mentioned, is massive. They got the Force at home next. So they recently played the Force, didn't they? And they got a win like right at the end.
Yeah, Dargunu try.
Yes. What, are they playing them again like 2 weeks later?
Yeah, but it's the same as like the Hurricanes and the Blues. No, the Chiefs and the Blues that also played twice already.
Yeah, that's nuts. But yeah,
that's kind of like for the Chiefs or the Blues, they'll take that because it's like get the tough games out of the way and then you just focus on the rest.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I saw an interesting comment that these Aussie teams, these players have to step up now because this is the time where the likes of Joe Schmidt's going to decide his team to face the Lions. And so there's a bit more urgency, I think, in the Aussie teams when watching them for players to stand out, to get picked.
But how great is that, right? Like imagine looking at the Super Rugby and thinking, oh, the Aussie teams are stinking it out. And then, they have a British and Irish Lions too, and no one's really excited for it because they just take it as a guaranteed British and Irish Lions to a victory. I am not writing this Aussie team off by any stretch of the imagination. Thank you very much. Like beating them in Brisbane or Sydney or whatever, that's already tough, right? They can be shit and still put up performances. We saw it in the fucking Rugby Championship. They went to Twickenham or the Alien Stadium and beat England. They went to the Viva and put up a brilliant showcase against Ireland. Obviously, Ireland, shaky, stinky, whatever you want to call it in the Six Nations, but they put up performances, right? Like, we have to remember, this is the Australian team that people were like, well, Wales are beating them. This is the same Australian team, and they went and did that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And we get a little off topic. We're now talking about the Lions, but yeah, let's go to the Blues Crusaders, which
I don't want to talk about it.
I got right. Blues Crusaders. You got this one wrong.
I don't want to talk about it.
You got it so wrong.
Yeah, very wrong. So I was like, Blues at home. The Crusaders defense, they haven't been looking that good. And then, fucking hell, they just pumped the Blues. I'm like, at what point do the Blues just turn the page and say, okay, listen, we actually haven't played some fucking rugby? Because it's just not happening. It's just not happening. And yeah, the Blues came back into the game a little bit and then just threw it away in the end by conceding 2 more tries there at the end. Will Jordan, once again on the score sheet. Are you surprised?
Just on the 82nd minute.
I know. But that's my point. Like, are you surprised that he still got onto the score sheet after fucking 83 minutes?
No, but I'm bloody glad he did because my back three in fantasy was looking dreadful. And
how many points did he get?
Points. He got like 22 points with a try.
Call it an all-time stink fest. He only touched the ball then.
He was on at 50 minutes into the game. He was on -2 points. I was like, what's going on?
Bro, he hated the fence, it sounds like. Surely.
He had a couple knock-ons. That was about it. But yeah, I mean, the Crusaders defensively were actually really good. Set-piece play was really good. David Harvey, we talk about him quite often now. He was player of the match for me. Him or Moanunu, who's the hooker, he played really well and was also like kicking the ball.
Do you expect to see him in the All Blacks jersey now after these solid performances?
I think he'll be in the squad probably. I mean, I don't think he's performed like that in the All Blacks jersey yet. There's a few players that do well at the club level that haven't quite transitioned into the black jersey. So, I mean, on his form, you got to give him a chance, I suppose.
Super Rugby is the only thing you can base it around. Like, I've spoke to people about, for instance, like Quinta Paya, because obviously we have a massive All Blacks following in South Africa, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you know that. And they say, like, yeah, well, Quinta Paya is always great, but he doesn't do it for All Blacks. And I'm like, well, you can't judge it on anything else. The same with David Arvidi. They ain't playing abroad. They have to play in the Super Rugby. You can't judge it on anything else. And if they're standing out in the Super Rugby, what more do they have to do? The same goes for instance, last season's player of the tournament, Oscar Satutu, player of the tournament, didn't get a run out for the All Blacks. And I was like, I know there's a lot of talent there, but what more should he have done?
Yeah, I think there's a whole lot more to that story than just him being
Fair enough.
the player of the
I didn't
tournament.
know there's a lot more to the story.
Yeah, I mean, it's all stuff behind the scenes that we won't know. But from what I understand, he was obviously the coaches talked to them throughout the season and what they want to see develop in their game so they can get picked. And apparently he was told what they wanted him to work on, and he basically said nah and didn't do it. So it's an attitude problem.
Mine got player of the year. Nice.
Yeah, but it's more so like if you watch him, he's brilliant on attack, really good on attack. But defensively, he doesn't work as hard as some of the other players. He has poor tackle technique. Obviously, he got a red card already this year in his first game, then missed a game. And he's not as prominent at the breakdown. He led the stats, I think, last year in meters made, obviously in tries, and maybe offloads. But if you compared him to, obviously, Wallace Satiti, who took his place, really, Wallace Satiti had 10 times the amount of turnovers or turnover influences than he did. So he's having more impact on the game, whereas only was just behind in some of the running meter stats or the offload stats. But
if you've got Satiti, Adi Savaya, and Oscar Satutu, how much do you really need Oscar to do his defensive work?
Yeah, but I think that works in a Super Rugby level. But if we're playing the Springboks, all 15 players on the park need to be 99% accurate and being involved for taking every opportunity, because you don't get many opportunities. So, I think that's the way they're trying to build the squad rather than individual players, which...
Fair enough. Blues, wake up, please. Crusaders, well done. I'm done with backing the Blues. Seriously. Who are they playing the next round? I'm not backing them.
They got to buy, I think.
They got to buy. Great, because that would have been horrible if they had to play the Drua and they were at home, or for instance, the Force. And because then obviously I'd back them. Waratahs was the Brumbies. I don't even want to talk about this game because I was so confident. I was 16 games or 15 games. They've been posting their social media, smack talking and whatever. The fucking Waratahs come out and spoil the party.
My dark horse, who are doing well on the table as well. Not quite as high as the Reds, but they're up there. They're fourth. They're only 2 points behind. That's just bonus points, I believe. They look good. The Brumbies, not as good as they could have been, lacking in key areas. Good to see Valentini back. I thought he had a pretty good game. But just general around the park, Rob Leota, Langy Gleeson played really well for the Waratahs. They're 10 as at Crichton. He's been playing pretty well, I thought. Tane Edmund off the bench, but it was just a solid performance. There was nothing really outstanding about it. I can't look at it.
I don't know where to put the Waratahs at the moment because you want to back them and then they just stink it out, and then you don't back them and they just put up worldy performances.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think I don't really know what to say about them. They should be good because they've got great players, and we've said they probably did the best from the Rebels disappearing. We've said that a few times, but there's always every now and then they just put up a kind of a stinker, and it just comes out of nowhere, and then you lose all faith in their ability, and then you're
because it's that much of a stinker that you have to lose faith.
Yeah, and then you're okay, well,
there was nothing. There was nothing in this to back them.
And then they come out and play really well and consistent. You're like, oh, all right then, back to backing the Waratahs, and then they'll have a stinker again somewhere. So
yeah,
who knows?
Force was the draw. Suck on that one, Aiden. You just threw it in my face. You suck on that one. 52 points to 15. I told you this is not slander on the draw, but the Force were great. And I said I was mad at Dylan Peach, right? I'm not going to blame the guy for not playing. But I'm also blaming him for stinking it out. But 52 points to 15, that is a hammering. That is a big one. In a close competition so far?
It's disappointing, I'll be honest. Because this Drew aside, it's so hard to quantify at the moment. This Drew aside beat the Chiefs. They're the only team to beat the Chiefs so far. And then we get games like this where they get absolutely
It's
thumped.
their only win.
Yeah, their only win is the Chiefs. And yeah, there was conditions, and it was in Fiji, sure, but like they've got the talent to win games, and it's just I don't know what it is. It's just nothing's clicking for them. They make a lot of changes every week to their squad with injuries and sometimes without injuries. They just move players around, and they're just lacking the consistency. And the Force haven't made too many changes. You know, they got their Aussies back, their Wallabies rather back. Obviously, Ben Donaldson, Tizano on the score sheet twice again. You know, that man is scoring tries for fun at the moment. The hooker's got a hat trick in the first half. If he was in your fantasy, he did bloody well. He got like 96 points. But yeah, I mean, the Force.
Just as a team, they're playing well.
Yeah.
The Force. Like, they've only got a 50% win rate, right? Probably should have beat the Reds, which makes it 4 from 6. But they're just playing well. Like, at some point, you just have to say, well, they're playing well as a team. Like, what was our expectations of the Force? Not great, really, going into the season, and they're putting up fair performances. Like, obviously, they got whacked against the Crusaders, but they played with about 56 changes. Other than that, they've been fine.
Yeah, I think they're just consistent, and I think that's the thing that a few of the teams are lacking this year, including some of the New Zealand teams, is lots of changes, whether that be injuries or moving players about, just because they don't have that stable base. Where I think the Force have done that really well. They've got the players they want to play most of the time. The players know how each other play, and they work really well together. And it just looks clean. The simple things are done well, and that shows in their performances. And, you know, a few unlucky losses, but other than that, just a strong-looking team.
Yeah, round 7. Here we go. Starting off, Friday special, morning coffee in the hand. Hurricanes versus the Waratahs, your dark horses versus your actual team. And surprise, surprise, Aiden, you've got another injury. Harry Godfrey gone. Can you believe it?
I'm so sick of this shit, man. Like, we just get back Lomax and Almoa, 2 All Blacks. And then our up-and-coming 10, who's been really good, because Brett Cameron, our other 10, starting 10 from last year, injured, out all season. Now, Harry Godfrey's out for 4 to 6 weeks. It's not just this weekend. We've lost him for ages. Riley Hohepa moves into starting 10, and I've got nothing against Riley Hohepa, but he is not as good as Harry Godfrey. And I'm sick of all these injuries, man. It's so difficult because one thing we lack is consistency, and all these injuries are not helping that. Hell, I'd see Ruben Love at 10. We know we can play 10. Chuck him in there. Put someone else at fullback. Bring back Billy Proctor. Stop being injured, man. Play some rugby, please. And then we can.
The Waratahs have their fair share of injuries in big names and stuff. Or do they?
No,
Joseph Sua'Ali'I is back.
So
I know.
Just as the Hurricanes lose our exciting young player, the Waratahs gain back the one that we all love watching because he's super talented, super athletic. He comes back into the midfield, so that'll be brilliant to watch.
Exactly.
He'll probably play well.
Okay, stop crying me a river and give me your prediction.
Are
you going
Hurricanes by 15.
Wow. Holy shit. Where's that come from?
I'm not going to allow injuries to be an excuse. I mean, it's not ideal. Don't get me wrong.
There's no Kellaway, by the way. Jorgensen's on fullback.
Yeah, but he's been class, so he'll be fine. Look, we've got the talent. These young players are exciting. Punivai's been playing really well. Finianganofo's on the bench. He's been playing really well. Zach Gallagher in at the locks. He's exciting young talent. Obviously, Almoa back, Lomax back. That's great. Our loose forwards have been brilliant. They've probably been the shining light in a bleak start to the season. Cam Roygaard's playing. He's the best halfback in the Southern Hemisphere.
You wanted to say in the world.
Not yet. He will be, but not yet. But he's the best halfback in the Southern Hemisphere. By far the best halfback in Super Rugby. He's going to be massive for us. I hope he has a good game. He has to be in your fantasy. If you don't have Roygaard in your fantasy, you're just losing points. So, yeah. I'm just going to back them. I just think they're going to do it. Little surprise performance, all the hard work they've been doing at training.
Nope, I don't agree.
Fingers crossed.
It's not gonna be a surprise performance. I'm also backing the Hurricanes. Give me the Hurricanes by 13 points at home. I'm not going to have this Waratahs team spoil my weekend last weekend and do it this weekend, right? Like the Brumbies, they should have won. The Hurricanes, they will win. They're being written off. Give me the Hurricanes by 13 points with a clinical performance. I won't say it's the prettiest one, right? But it's going to be clinical. I just think maybe the strength game with Tyrell Lomax there, with Samoa there, Cam Roy got is absolutely sensational. I think like someone that hasn't really stood out or got the shine necessarily is Umaga Jensen. Like that guy's tough. He just gets stuck in. And I think that's perfect for what they need in this game because Sua'Ali'I is a physical guy, right? Like really physical. And if I had to put him up against someone, give me Umaga Jensen. The guy just puts in hard hits. That'll be a clash of titans. Yeah. Hurricanes by 15. By 13. Don't mind if I do. Anyway, Brumbies at home to... I just gave my prediction away. Brumbies at home to bounce back against the Highlanders. I'm backing the Brumbies to get it done. Are they playing full strength? Let me just make sure about this. Yes, they are. Yes. Brumbies at home. They're tough to beat at home. It's the one Australian team after all these seasons. Highlanders, I love the Highlanders, but they're not going to win.
Yeah. No Taniela Talia in at centre either. The other Umaga Jensen is playing centre for the Highlanders. Yeah. I want to back the Highlanders. I wanted them to win last week at home. I think it's going to be tough to win away. The Brumbies love playing at home. They're usually very good at home. They're not full strength. Obviously, no Charlie Cale in there. Although
imagine if you add Charlie Cale to that, Lucy's already Tom Hooper, Rob Valentini, and then Charlie Cale.
Yeah, I mean it's not that weak, is it? Other than that, it's pretty much full strength. So I'm going to have to back the Brumbies. I'm going to say close game because I back the Highlanders to give it a good fight. I'm going to say Brumbies by 7.
Yeah. I wouldn't... I feel like the Brumbies might run away with it, but the Highlanders, they've just made life tough for most teams so far this season. Tavatavanawa back onto 12th position, into that 12 jersey. And I actually pronounced the name correct, so give me that. Well Tangitau, obviously a threat every single time. So but if you look at the forwards, James Slipper, Alan Alatua, Nick Frost is there, Tom Hooper, Rob Valentini. Those are big names. Tom Wright, Corey Toole, Murid had a sensational game 2 games ago, I think it was. He wasn't too great against the Waratahs. Len Ikitau still there, Noah Lolosia. It's a class team that by the Brumbies. So they should get over the line. So I'm backing them to get over the line. Give me the Brumbies by 11 points, but I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow just win this game by like 25 points. Like just kick into gear and put up a solid performance. And that's not even talking bad about the Islanders. I just get a feeling that this might be a scary Brumbies team. Saturday games. Crusaders versus Moana. Now, I haven't even seen the Crusaders team, to be fair.
No Severis. James O'Connor starting.
Oh, wow. Havili masterclass?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be...
Hotham getting a start again?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Preston's been brilliant, and I think he deserved the time he had at the start. I do think Hotham will be a better 9. It's tough to tell at this point. Obviously, Hotham has to keep performing, but he was really good last year in a terrible Crusaders team last year. But it's not a full strength Crusaders. So no Christian Leawilli in the back. Obviously Scott Barrett's still there. Cullen Grace moves to 6. Blackadder's back, so they've lost Leawilli, but Blackadder's in there. Cody Taylor's on the bench. Moana Nu starting. George Bauer starting. Fletcher Newell starting. So no Tamaiti Williams. He might be on the bench. Yeah, he's on. I mean, they are bringing on Cody Taylor, Mighty Williams, Quinton Strange.
Yeah, I just don't see it working out for Moana. Like, they've got Adi Savaya back, who's obviously massive.
Yeah.
But overall, the Crusaders team, we spoke about it before, the strength and depth that they have, you listen to that bench, that's crazy. For them to even lose a game is almost unthinkable. So,
yeah, which is crazy to think about last year to think about them winning a game seemed unthinkable.
Yeah. Thing is, like, no Severies, but you still look at the back three and you see Marcus Springer, who's been scoring tries for fun. Fiaki, amazing. Will Jordan. And you're like, well, obviously, Severies will make this team a million times better. But do we need him? Probably not. Because it's still quality.
Yeah, it's a good team, man. The Crusaders are back, for fuck's sake.
Is this Dallas McLeod's first game starting again in that 13 jersey?
I think he started last week.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I just couldn't remember now. Okay, but I'm going Crusaders to thrash them at home as well. Moana might pitch up for the first bit, but then I think the Crusaders run away with it. Give me the Crusaders by 32 points. Jeez. I think it plays out the same way Crusaders played out against the Western Force.
I think it plays out, like the opposite of the Chiefs Moana game. I think Moana
32 is a lot, 28.
Yeah, I think Moana will be up front the first 40. I think they'll try and work against what they did last week against the Chiefs, and so they'll punch up big time for the first 40. I could see it being really close after 40 minutes. And then I think the Crusaders bench comes on and takes the game away. So I'm going to go Crusaders by 18.
You know what's been impressive about the Crusaders, to be fair, right? Like, we saw the Chiefs, I wouldn't say they dropped off, right? But they just went to lay down a bit. The Crusaders haven't looked like they've wanted to take their foot off the gear. When they bury the teams, they bury them properly. And it's 80 minutes of it. And they don't relax or anything. Because the guys coming off the bench, it's not like, it doesn't feel like you're bringing off second string players. You're bringing off Mighty Williams. You're bringing on Mighty Williams off the bench. You're out of your mind.
And Cody Taylor.
Yeah, okay. Crazy. Reds versus the Force. Banger to end it off with. Dark Horses versus the Force. I wouldn't put it past the Force to pull off an upset victory. I've got a sneaky feeling around it because the Reds aren't full strength. Like, there's no Harry Wilson.
No.
There's no Fraser McWright, which is two massive, massive losses. I don't know. Am I going to go against my Dark Horses? Because, I mean, this Force team is looking good. Do you reckon it's high scoring or low scoring?
Middle. Like 28-32 vibes. Give me the Force upset.
So the Reds beat the Force at the Force ground, and the Force getting one back over the Reds.
Yeah. Give me the Force.
Remember the first game between these two came off to a flyer, and we thought we have another 80-point game on our hands. I think the first half ended like 28 points to 22 or something like that, something around those lines. And then the second half had like 7 to 14 points in it.
Yeah. Give me the Force by 4.
No, I said I'll back the Reds in literally every single game. I'll stick by that until they play the Chiefs or the Crusaders again. No, bro, don't be ridiculous. Don't push it. No, I'll back the Reds. Home ground advantage. We know home ground advantage is a thing, especially when it comes to these derbies. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like, if I just had to purely go on my brain and not be a cocky little shit with my ego needing to be stroked, I'd probably say the Reds are like 52% to 48% favorites. Just in my head. But I'll back the Reds, even though they've got some rotation. I think rotation every now and again, or whether it's injuries, when you have that opportunity for other players to come through, they just step up. You saw the likes of a Carl Preston. Like, we thought, there you go with the Crusaders injury, first couple of minutes of the season, and Carl Preston comes on and scores a hat-trick on debut against the Hurricanes. Like, at some point, maybe that's the opportunity that one of those breakthrough stars need to break through.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's back the Reds, but I'm thinking it's close. Let's go within a try, 5 or 6 points for the Reds.
All right, so we've got a few different opinions again. It makes next week exciting.
Yeah. Let's quickly wrap up. How many different opinions did we have? Hurricanes and Waratahs. We both backed the Canes.
Both backed the Brumbies.
Both backed the Brumbies. Both backed the Crusaders.
Oh, and then I backed the Force.
Okay, so
it's only one.
It's kind of a decider there at the end for us.
Yeah. Watch us get all of them wrong.
Yeah.
And one of us gets it right.
Me and you are in a battle of points difference. Anyway, people, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Go and show Aiden some love and support as well on his TikTok. He's not going to be a lazy little shit tonight. He's going to post a review or a preview of this week's Six Nations. And if he doesn't, he won't be on next weekend. Not Six Nations, Super Rugby. Yeah, if he doesn't, slaughter him. Anyway, thank you. Bye.